myself Dr. Preeti Raghwani. I am from Department of Computer Science, Albert College, University of Delhi. So in our previous lecture we have seen the use of the keyword super in a detailed manner, and in the beginning of that particular lecture I have told you that there are basically two uses of the keyword super. So first we have explored in our previous lecture in which it was used inside the constructors of the subclass, and here in this lecture we are going to explore the second use for the keyword super. So the second form of the super keyword is going to refer to the superclass of the subclass in which it is going to be used. That means that it is going to call the member of the superclass with the help of the super keyword, and the usage or the syntax we can say will be super dot member. That means which particular member of the superclass we want to refer here in the subclass, and along with that member or along with that name of that member we are going to use the keyword super. And now here the member can be either a method or an instance variable, and you must be wondering that what are the situations in which this kind of super this kind of usage of the keyword super is applicable. So this is applicable to the situation in which the member names of the subclass and the member names of the superclass are kind of we can say non-unique. That means the member names are same, and the subclass is going to hide the members which are having the same name as that of the members of the superclass. So let us see this with the help of an example, and here we have taken a very simple structure of the program in which there is a class A, and this is having one variable integer I. So we just kept it very simple in order to demonstrate the use of super in to overcome the name hiding. And now this class A is being kind of extended by class B, and a subclass in the name of class B is being created. So class B extends A, and now we have integer I here also. So now integer I is available in class B as well as integer I is available in class A. So whenever inside the class B I am going to use this integer I, that means I am actually referring to the local I of the class B, and we are not referring to the I of class A. So that means the I variable I inside the class B is going to hide the variable I which is available inside the class A. Now there may be situations in which we want to access the variable I which is available inside the class A, and in order to use that variable the keyword here is the super. Now you can see in this program that inside the constructor of the class B we have taken two parameters. So one parameter B which is being assigned to the I. So whenever I am going to say I only, that means the local I, the I of the class B, and whenever I am using super dot I in which the value of A is being kind of we can say assigned or copied. So super dot I means the variable I which is available in A. So the previous use was there, the previous use of the keyword super was to kind of assign or to call the superclass constructor, and here it is being used to overcome the name hiding in place of the same names of the variables in the superclass as well as the subclass. So here we have just taken an example of the instance variable, but this can actually be also applicable to our situations in which the member which I am talking about is actually a kind of method or actually a function. So here within the function show, if I am going to say print super dot I, that means the value of I of the class A will be printed, and whenever I am going to ask to print I only, that means it is asking for the value of I which is available inside the class B. And whenever we are going to use this inside the main method, we are going to call this with the help of the constructor of the class B. That means B sub sub object or sub ob, whatever the name of the object, it's a variable name, you can give it, is equals to new b1 and 2, and then we have called the show method with this particular object, and as the output it is going to give us I in superclass as 1 and I in subclass as 2. So although originally the instance variable I in the B class is going to hide I in the A, the keyword super is allowing access to the I defined in the superclass, and super in the similar manner can also be used to call methods that are hidden by the subclass. So for example, we have one particular method show in class A and another method show in class B. So whenever we are saying show within the class B, that means we are talking about the show of the class B, but if we want to refer the show of class A inside the class B, we need to use super dot show. So that is also possible. So till here, here till this point, we have we have seen the two keywords of the super, and now we are going to start with one more kind of sub module of your inheritance, which is actually named as multi-level inheritance. So as the name indicates, multi-level. So multi-level, this is going to build hierarchies that contain many layers of the inheritance. So for example, I am having three classes, let's say A, B, C. So A is the topmost superclass, B is the subclass which is extending A, and then we have a class C which in turn is extending the class B. So for C, the class B is the superclass, and for B, the class A is the superclass, and this is a perfectly acceptable scenario to use a subclass as the superclass of another. And when this type of situations occur, each subclass is going to inherit all the traits found in its superclass, and in this case of A, B, C, C is going to inherit the traits of B as well as the traits of A also. And here we are going to use we are going to see this whole concept with the help of that box weight and the box example. So please let me make you recall that the box was the superclass and the box weight was the subclass, and here the program which we are going to begin now, we are going to use one class shipment which will act as the subclass of the class box weight. So for box weight, box is the subclass, box is the superclass, sorry, and for the class shipment, your box weight is the superclass, but shipment will going to inherit all the traits of the box weight as well as of the box, and also may add some variables or some fields of its own. So here it is going to add a field named as cost, which is going to hold the cost of the shipments or something of that sort. So let us kind of take this with the help of a complete full-fledged example. We have a class box, width, height, depth, all three private members, we have already seen this, and then the constructor in which the object is being passed. So width is equals to ob dot width, height is equals to ob dot height, and depth is equals to ob dot depth. And this is the concept which we have gone through since 2-3 programs. We have seen that. Again, the constructor in which all the dimensions are specified, in which the box we have double W, double H, double D. W, H and D, these values are being given to width, height and depth respectively inside the box. Then the next constructor which is having no dimension, and it is used to indicate an uninitialized box with all the values as -1. So box, the constructor box with no parameters, width equals to -1, height is equals to -1, depth is equals to -1, and finally the constructor of the class box, which is in using which the cube is being created, and only one parameter len is being passed. Width is equals to height is equals to depth is equals to length, and then method volume which is returning a value double which is a multiplication of width, height and depth. That means that is the volume of the box by multiplying all the three dimensions, we can say. So, this was the structure of the class box, which we have also seen in our previous examples. Here I will be kind of taking it very quickly, because we have seen this earlier also. The class box weight, which is going to extend box, it is going to add up one variable weight, and then the box weight is going to use all the 4 constructor which are being defined in the class box, and all the 4 constructor are are used with the help of the super keyword in order to avoid the redundancy of the code. And the use of super keyword we have also seen in our previous classes. The first one constructor in which the object of the class is being passed. So, box weight OB, and then super, within the super keyword, the OB, which is the name of the object, is being passed. This is going to in turn call the constructor of the super class, and weight is equals to OB dot weight. Then the constructor in which all the parameters are specified, the super is going to take the 3 parameters W, H and D, while the other parameter, which is M, is the value of M is being copied inside the variable weight. Then we have the default constructor, which is kind of the uninitialized constructor. We have used super, weight is equals to -1. Then the constructor in which the cube is created, only one variable in order to specify W, H and D, that is the length, passed inside the keyword super, which in turn calls the super class constructor, and one variable M in which the value of weight is being taken, and this is going to be assigned to the weight variable. Now, this was I ran through this whole structure very quickly, because this was something which you are already familiar with. Now, here the one thing which is kind of, we can say, a new addition to this particular program is this class, which is shipment. This is extending the class box weight, and the code for this class shipment is given here on the screen, in which the class shipment is going to add one one variable of its own, which is the double variable, and the name of the variable is cost. And then the first kind of constructor, which is the constructor clone of the object, in which the object of the class shipment is being passed. We have called the super as the first statement inside the constructor, and cost is equals to OB dot cost. Now, let us try to understand that what it is actually going to happen here when we are passing, or when we are calling the super keyword inside the constructor. This super keyword is going to call the super class of the shipment, which is the box weight class, and then the box weight class is again going to call, with the help of the super, the box weight class is again going to call the class box. So, through shipment we are going to reach to the box weight, and through box weight we are going to reach to the box class, and this is going to happen here in a sequence, we can say. So, when we say and here please remember, or you can notice yourself that we have just used one particular constructor. Here we have not used 4 constructors inside the shipment, in which one is the clone constructor, another one is the kind of default constructor, then some with the cube dimensions and so on and so forth. That we have not done. For the sake of simplicity, we have just used one particular constructor, which is the constructor clone of the object, and which is accepting object as the parameter of the constructor. And here this super keyword is going to call your box weight, and box weight in turn is going to call the class or the constructor of the class box. And when we are going to use this inside the main function, so main function, as the name indicates, in any of the class we can use it, public static void main, and here we are going to make the variables or the objects of our recent in the sense the subclass, which is the recent, that is the shipment. So, shipment 1 is the name of the object, is equals to new shipment. And now please notice the number of variables which we are passing. The number of variables is actually, you know, kind of we can say 4 here, and this constructor is going to correspond to the value of the or this constructor is going to correspond to the constructor of the class box weight, in which there are 4 variables initialized. And I have told you already that just for the sake of simplicity, I have not shown here that particular constructor, but yes, you can make one constructor shipment in which you can pass 5 variables. Out of those 5 variables, 4 will be passed within the super class, within the super keyword. These 4 this super keyword along with the 4 variables will be calling the class box weight, which is the immediate super class. Then the immediate super class of the box weight, which is the box, will be called with the 3 variables. So, here we have 5 variables which are 10, 20, 15, 10 and 3.41. So, what is actually happening? 10, 20, 15 will be the width, height and depth, and these 3 variables will ultimately reach to the constructor box. Then the variable 10 or the value 10, this value 10 is actually the value of weight which is being passed to the box weight class, and then 3.41 is actually the value of the cost or of the value of the variable cost, which is the variable introduced by the class shipment itself. So, the initial 3 variables belongs to basically class box inherited by box weight, and then finally inherited by the class shipment also. Then we have the 4th variable which is added, which is the value 10, and this value we can say it as a literal, actually it is a literal, but this is ultimately going to be a value of a variable. So, the value 10, now this value 10 corresponds to the value of the weight, and that weight variable is being added by the class box weight. And then we have the variable 3.51, and that the variable 3.51 is actually the variable of the we can say variable belonging to the 3.41 is the value of the variable which is belonging to the class shipment, and the variable is named as cost. And similar we can complete this whole program, that this volume is one variable volume we have taken, which is going to be the volume of this shipment 2. So, that means before we can say execution of this main method, we need to complete the whole structure of the program. That means the box class is having 4 constructors, one method volume. Then the 4 constructors are having in the box weight, which are appropriately using the class which are appropriately using the keyword super, and then finally the 4 constructors inside this class shipment, and this is also going to use the super in an appropriate manner. And with whenever I am going to use the method volume with this object of class shipment, which is shipment 2, or we can also have shipment 1. So, here basically this volume is actually not belonging to the kind of we can say the shipment class, but it is actually kind of in turn taken from the class box. Then some variables are being added. So, for example, the original volume is coming from the box, then the addition of the variable weight, and then in the next subclass the addition of the cost. So, here you can see first we have printed volume of shipment 2 is the variable volume, then we have printed the weight of shipment 2 is shipment 2 dot weight, and finally the cost variable, which is actually being added by the shipment 2 dot that is the variable which is being added by the class shipment that we have seen. And finally, if we are going to after this whole kind of calculation of volume, then printing of weight, and then printing of cost, if we are actually going to see the we can say output of the program, we will be having volume, we will be having weight, and we will be having the variable value of the variable cost. So because of the inheritance, we can say the shipment, the class shipment, can make use of the previously defined classes of the previously defined two classes. One is box, another one is boxed weight. And what this class shipment is going to do, it added only the extra information which it needed for its own. So for example, box weight has added the variable weight, while the shipment has added the variable cost. So that means only specific purposes or specific applications we are talking about. And then this is the part of, or we can say this is actually the value of the inheritance, or this is the value addition which is done by the concept of inheritance, that it allows the reuse of code. So in this previous example, what we have seen actually a multi-level hierarchy. In our previous lectures, we have seen one superclass and another subclass, and we have not seen any levels. But here, let us say we have one class box, which is the ultimate superclass. Then box is being extended by class box weight, and then that box weight is in turn is being extended by class shipment. So shipment, then the shipment is the subclass of the class box weight. Box weight is actually the subclass of the box. So basically two levels of hierarchy, or two levels of inheritance we have created here, and that is why this is what you called a multi-level inheritance thing. And here in this lecture, we have explored the use of the second use of the keyword super, which is used in or which is being which is there in order to print, or in order to access the variable corresponding to the superclass if it is being hidden by a variable corresponding to the subclass, in case the variable names are the same, that we have seen. And then with the help of the three classes, box, box weight, and the shipment, we have seen one concept of the multi-level hierarchy. Now one question which comes up immediately in the mind, that in case of multi-level hierarchy, we have used overloaded constructors also. So the constructors of the class box are being called inside the constructors of the class box weight with the help of super. Then the class shipment is in turn calling the constructors of the class box weight with the help of super. So the question which arises here, that in case of multi-level hierarchy, what is going to be the order of execution or order of sequence of constructor? That means which constructor will be we can say which constructor is going to be executed first. So it is from the superclass, then the subclasses, or it is going to be in the reverse order. That is a question which we need to explore more, and that will be done in our next lecture. So here the example reference has been taken from the complete reference book of Java, which is written by Herbert Shield, and this was the reference for preparation of lecture. I hope you have enjoyed one. I will see you in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Goodbye.